So in the interest of time, I can't do a whole feature today. I wanted to do a big video deep diving a few profiles, but I couldn't because of, well, there's just a lot to do. But I wanted to jump on here and feature 4 pieces that really struck me and feature the writers. I will link them in the description, and I think I just wanted to put their work in front of everybody that I could, because I believe they deserve some reads, some attention, for lack of a better word. So here we go. Now this is Parachute with Last Night. Turn out the light now, we are done, for I do not wish to see your foolish eyes, while I listen to you, breathing him in and me out. Yeah. So I have featured Bernard Pearson before, a while ago. Really dig this profile and the pipe. I wonder what kind of pipe that is. I used to have a Joby. That's how you say it. And I used to smoke puff on that whiskey Cavendish, or whatever it was, or Captain Black, whatever I bought way back when I was trying to be like this guy. It's pretty cool though. I think I was like in my early 20s. I was like fucking smoking a pipe, right? What a douche I was. Okay, Area Man. Going down. Colorful plastic, garbage floating on the surface. I will wrestle this kaleidoscope to the bottom of nowhere. Beyond myself, I'm still here. It's beautiful. It's, this writer, this poet is, I've said it before, and I featured Area Man, one of my favorite poets of all time. I mean, through all time. So follow him. This is Burial and Utopia. Whenever I hear that screen name, I think of Holiday in Cambodia by Dead Kennedys. I have a coffee machine. I have a Breville espresso machine, and every morning when I crank it on, I start it up. It reminds me of the beginning. It reminds me of the beginning of Phantom Lord off of Kill 'Em All. So this is Untitled, and it goes, I am the pebble that river rejected. I was picked up by her. She took to home. Amidst a bowl of other pebbles, she kept me. I looked at her, naked and naked and naked. Her body, her skin, a distant temple at the peak. Others wished to worship. I became piety myself. Day by day we grew fonder. I saw her being shared by other men. He would do stuff to her I couldn't, as a pebble. My jealousy grew and grew, till one day I realized that those who entered her life, one by one, left her life. And I, staying in my bowl, always stayed by her side. I am forever her pebble. That is beautiful. My God. Yeah, that is beautiful. And this guy was around during the inception of prose. I mean, this guy was in our iOS beta group, I believe. Is that right? I don't know, but I was down in southern Arizona in 2016 winter, writing a book I wrote called The Velocity of Ink. I was just I was playing with the beginning of that and just kind of going back and forth with my editor, and during that time, I talked to Burial and Utopia, who had a different name back then, and we had a nice convo on WhatsApp. And he's, all the way around the world. And it was just a beautiful conversation. So there we go. Sorry about that. I was up reading last night, narrating like really late. And so I'm basically swallowing sandpaper today, but I wanted to do this video for these writers. And anyway, so Burial and Utopia, to me, was just such a dark, innocent, and distinctive voice, as you just heard. And when he left, I couldn't find him anywhere. And I think like a lot of artists, sometimes, like for me personally, I'll just cut myself adrift from the human race and I'll just go under and I'll rebuild. I'll write a book. I'll work out. I'll go keto or paleo or carnivore. I'll do something for months and just stay gone. And then I'll crawl back out and let the sunlight burn me for a few years and I'll go back under. And so I think that that's just how I do it. It's how I move. But this guy, I'm glad he's back. He's such a beautiful, beautiful writer. So check out Burial and Utopia. Okay, grace in poetry. Now, I had one of our legends on site sent me a private message about this poet, and he said, "Man, you have to feature grace in poetry." So I devoured her profile, and I have to say it's really good. But I don't have time today, like I said, to do a half-hour video, but I wanted to read this. This is unfinished, and it's part of a challenge. I'm sure it's over, but you are a piece of art in a museum. Describe yourself. 5 smackers to the prettiest painting. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, so this is Grace in Poetry with Unfinished. I am scribbled on a sheet of scrap paper while someone is on the phone or at a restaurant on a cocktail napkin, while someone waits for a waitress, just distracted doodling. I am unfinished. A draft, a sketch, an outline, dropped out of someone's pocket, left on the floor of the museum, forgotten. And Jim Lamb wrote, read this several times, enjoyed it more and more and more, particularly like the last 3 lines. Yeah, it's a really nice piece. So grace in poetry. Here we go. This is kind of cool. I like this. Young woman shaped foolishly. I let myself love clumsily. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, this is a really cool profile. New York City. On the Seahorse Carousel, the last time I smiled, there is a video of me taken with your camera. An old song plays in harmony with the rain. We spin around like ballerinas in domed aquaria. Over and over I watch until I am dizzy. The memory is a souvenir I cannot hold. All that is left is a cheap replica of the happiest girl in the freezing cold. Yeah. Here I go, right? Like I'm like, there's no time, and now I get sucked into these words. Oh hey, I commented on this. I count on fate, on hope, on a sky vast enough to see me, the sky that always sees me. Is it getting too beautiful? It is. The road still has robed thugs. These robed thugs have taken so much, but they haven't taken the rhythm of my pulse. It still creates a sound. Dum, dum, dum. It's beating. So what is this drama? This is a beautiful drama. Fate doesn't present itself in a platter, but we become fillers of cracks, livers of cracks. A shot or two only leads to another shot or two. That be it. Yeah, no wonder I like that. Why my memory's turning to shit. And this guy, I mean, you just every single piece of his every post on here is readable. It's recitable. It's narrative worthy, I guess. That's a good way to put it. Let's see. Gutterball. I read this already, and I remember laughing when I read this because it means something to me personally. So it goes, and I laughed at Sad Hill's just before I even got to read this just now. I laughed at Sad Hill's remark. Hold on. Okay, getting old is bullshit. There is no wisdom gained. There is nothing to pass down. You get stupider, pudgier, withered, more jaded than you already are. Hear me now, young people. The next time an older person attempts to give you advice or instruction on living, tell them to go fuck themselves. You're welcome. Okay, I can't say I agree enough to that. And I'll put it to you this way. When I went to Europe the first time, well, the only time, the first time, because I go there like every weekend, right? No, but I went to Europe and a good friend of mine in Portland, in fact, the guy who does the music for this intro from the band Lordymama or the Wags, Scotty Van Scoik is his name. Really fucking talented, just a talented guy. In fact, he did one of my voiceovers for a short film from one of my stories were made into a short film, and he did the voiceover. He has this beautiful, like Tom Waits-ish, like walk away kind of sound, beautiful, just a beautiful man. And I remember I met him. He was a cook where my ex-girlfriend attended bar back in Portland, and it's just we stayed buddies. We just stayed buddies, kind of like how like Woods Tattoo and I just stayed buddies. But I've known Scotty for since 2003. So anyway, I told him, hey man, I'm finally going across the pond. I hate that phrase, but I think I'm going over there. And he said to me, he goes, take advice from no one. And he was right, you know. And I thought about that. I think about that today, and I think I applied that to so many things. Just because someone's older than you doesn't mean they fucking know anything. Once you pass like 26 and your brain stops growing, you start fucking paying bills and worrying about food and relationships and problems in your health or whatever, you are a man, you're a woman, you are grown, you're an adult, you're an adult. All right, don't cancel me. Whatever, you're an adult. And the you've just survived longer. If you're 50, if you're 52, I can't tell a 30-year-old how to write. I can't tell a 29-year-old which decision to make because the fuck do I know? And he's dead on. This is as ironic as it sounds. Take the advice of don't take advice. Figure it out for yourself. You know what I mean? And this is yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I gotta go, but blah, blah, blah. I'm fucking, yeah. But you can see why I love my job so much. I love prose. I mean, I thought of the app and blah, 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 but the way, what it's become now, and I have a thing where I think that when you create something, it's like a selfish to selfless mechanism because the truth is, once you put it out there, it's not really yours anymore. And that sounds like aloof and artsy, but it's not. It's just fucking true. You it's yours by birth, right? But it's not. Um, and whatever somebody else does with that or thinks about it has no effect on it. That's why like bad reviews, good reviews, advice, it doesn't matter. It's done. It's the work. So let's see. Bad news. When someone you love dies and I show up with $5 to cigarette, because I know him, I just completely pictured this happening. When someone you love dies and I show up with $5, 2 cigarettes, and a tall can, accept my condolences. That's what I gave to my last friend when he lost the last person he loved. Yeah. Yeah. The beauty in nonfiction. So let's see. And again with Grace, I mean, I just, I love all these, just the differences of these profiles. Yeah, I read this from my own profile, but I forgot to like it on this one. Let's do this one right here. Then I have to go. When the river runs savage, paddle upstream a piece against the flow in the raging white water. Then find a reed-rimmed pool, the one you missed when coming downstream. Take on a book and treat this as home for a while. Now, that's advice I will also take. Yeah. Slow the fuck down. All right. So, I will link all of these writers in this description of the video, and I am going to get out of here, and I have shit to do, but thank you for being here, and I will talk to you in the new video. Take good care.